Hi, John Murphy of FPF Trading with this week's installment of That's a Thing. I've been kind of off YouTube for a while, traveled across the country, hit some communication black spots, and frankly, I got a little bit lazy as well. I was giving my classes across the country. I'm back in Northern Virginia, wrapping up here, heading south, North Carolina, and a couple classes in Florida, and then a brief break, and then we start the 2022 season back in Florida again. Schedule's up on my website at FPF Trading. Today I'd like to talk to you about pre-decisions. And I put this in the context of some of the things we've seen in the news these past few months. In Atlanta, there was an incident of a woman about 6 months along, pregnant, walking her 3-year-old son. She was accosted by a very aggressive panhandler. Well, she waved the guy off, turned her back on him, and then he stabbed her in the back multiple times. Her baby was delivered, extremely premature, survived, but will have lifelong health issues as a result. And the deputy chief down there is on record as saying she did exactly the right thing. Well, I would beg to differ, because the outcome for her was pretty dramatic. Now, more recently here in Philadelphia, there was an incident where a rape was on a train, broad daylight, and people recorded it. And the police are saying, well, someone should have done something. Well, I won't disagree. But remember that there's a point when we intercede on behalf of a third party, well, we better be very careful and very certain of what we're doing, because those same police will be the ones to put the cuff on you and haul you away. We've been kind of operantly conditioned over the last couple of generations not to do anything, particularly our own behalf. The government will take care of that. Well, we're seeing now the government, locally anyway, retracting. All kinds of issues taking place, so it's certainly interesting times. So to back off from all that, I want to talk to you about pre-decisions. And that is essentially what you will do for who and when. Because at that moment of the decision, you can't be sifting through sorting things out. You have to have a template to fall in on in order to act promptly and appropriately and in your best interest. It can be all the way, yourself. It can be enforcing a boundary, a behavioral boundary. Hey, would you turn that radio down, please? I don't appreciate that. Or it could be a distance boundary, like, hey, would you stop right there? Hey, look, man, I can't help you. Thanks a lot. And all points in between. And that's just at the low end. We move further up to the criminal scale. Well, that's a whole other kettle of fish, isn't it? The bottom line is, even down here, by enforcing those boundaries, well, behavioral or positional, it can get pretty spicy pretty quickly. So we have to think about what we're going to do for ourselves when. What can we tolerate, and what do we have to act upon? Now, taking a step out, we need to define our inner circle of people in our lives that we will intercede on their behalf in that fashion as well. Verbally, physically, or all the way up to lethal force. Because, well, we are buying a ticket to destination somewhere the moment we get involved in something like that. And this is even more exacerbated when we act on behalf of a third party. You'll see on my Concealed Carry lecture series, I have a 45-minute video on that exact topic. I really recommend, though, that we make some pre-decisions now of what we will do for who under what circumstances, so that we're not shocked into inaction or so enraged that we embark upon a negative course of action, ultimately negative for ourselves. These things need to be thought through. I really recommend that you subscribe to John Korea's Active Self-Protection channel to get an idea of what these things can look like. Anyway, that's it for this installment. Hope to see you on the range.